Welcome to Whimsy Grit. Today I'm joined by Ivan Malekin and Sarah Jayne Portelli. Hold on, did I pronounce that right?
You
hmm
did.
Okay,
hmm
great. The husband and wife filmmaking team behind Nexus Production Group. They've been making independent films since 2007, building a body of work around micro budget filmmaking, improvisation, documentary observation, and character driven stories, which is a very elegant way of saying they willingly chose the hard road. Their documentary Cats of Malta began as a pandemic era camera test and became a film about stray cats, the humans who care for them, and the strange emotional architecture of community. And it's a great film. I highly recommend it. Their new film, After the Act, moves from cats to infidelity, intimacy, the guilt that follows, and the wreckage that follows betrayal. It's slow, it's improvised, it's moving, emotionally raw, and built for an audience willing to sit still and actually feel something. It's very brave and dangerous. And it comes out June 26th. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So I'm going to play the trailer for After the Act.
I love you. I love only you.
Why Becca specifically?
Can't be friends with you.
Sam, let go of me. Sam, let go of me. That's exactly what Sam said. It was a big mistake.
It didn't mean anything, Mia.
But you know what the problem is, Becca? I don't fucking care.
Take me to that place you showed her. We will both be.
How about just breathe for a moment?
If you think that I believe you, baby, I'm not. I'm
trying here.
No, I gotta go home.
Mia!
I don't know how to calm down. Then show me how to calm down.
Pretty little lies, they taste so sweet upon my tongue.
I love only you.
In your eyes, I see the devil, so my prayers been sung. You know I got.
Very excited to dive in. So, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So happy to have you.
It's great to be
Thank you.
here.
Yeah, great to be here.
So, my first question I always ask everybody is what's the very first thing you ever created that made you feel like an artist and why?
Ooh, that's like going back a long way because we're old. So I think when I was in primary school, maybe like grade 3 or 4, and I've done a little book called Jordan Goes to Space. I was into the NBA like back when I was a kid, and like the Chicago Bulls were on top. And yeah, it was like a little story about like Jordan going to space and helping like your, I don't know, some planets, like kind of like Space Jam actually when I think about it. So maybe I was inspired by Space Jam when I was a kid. So but yeah, I had like a friend of mine like he was like to draw, and like he'd illustrate it, and it was just this cool little book that we bound. Like wrote the story, he done the illustrations, and yeah, it just made me feel really creative. Like I knew I wanted to be a writer like since then.
And for me, I was always dancing and wearing strange costumes. My mum used to sew, so she used to make me all sorts of things. And there's a photo of me coming out of the garage with a lampshade on my head, a Christmas like cane as my walking stick, and all the clothes that I matched together and sort of put together. So I used to always wear crazy costumes and embarrass my family. And I think I was always meant to do something creative. So it makes sense now that I moved into the art department. But I was always writing and drawing and performing when I was younger. And when I was also in primary school, I won first prize for my illustration of a Moomba clown, which I found recently when I was in Australia. So I was always painting, drawing, dancing. So for me, moving into film was kind of like a natural progression and storytelling.
Mm. And what? How old were you both when that happened?
I was in primary school,
Yeah,
so I would have
same.
been like what young, like
Yeah, like maybe 10 years old.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was always like, when I was able to walk, I was always wearing costumes and painting my sister's face and doing crazy stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, I always feel like we're born artists rather. I mean, I think there are people who develop it later, but there's something about childhood, I think, that you kind of know from that age. And maybe you suppress it at some point, but then it comes back.
yeah. I think now I'm trying to live like I'm trying to make my inner child happy. So whenever I'm feeling down, I'm painting or I'm drawing or I'm writing something. That's how I feel connected to my soul and myself. So I go back to the child and I think about that child with the lampshade and the crazy costumes, and I think of her and I'm like, okay, I need to make her happy. So that's how I go back to it.
And so you mentioned the art department. That's where you both met, right?
We met through that because I was
yeah.
working. I was working full time in the airport, just having a job. It was my first full time job ever in my whole life, and I was coming to set in the evenings to dress the set because I was at work all day, and he was working during the day on the same film.
Yeah,
And we met.
it was a short film called One in a Million. Like a friend of ours was directing it.
What were you doing on that film?
I think I was made production assistant, but we didn't actually work on the same day.
I
like,
saw a
on
photo
set.
of you, but I didn't know who you were.
Yeah, but then the film went to a big festival in Australia called Tropfest, and that was
Which is back now.
up in Sydney, and we were living in Melbourne at the time. We went up to the festival, and we actually met at the after party. So that's how our first meeting. And I was a little bit drunk. She'd been riding her bike all day, the Sydney sun, so she had heat stroke, and she was silly enough to give me her number. So there we go.
So you're Australian and you're Maltese, is that right? Or
We're both Australian with European heritage. So I'm Australian Maltese, and he's got Croatian
Yeah,
background.
Croatian backgrounds. My parents.
Oh, okay. And so was it strictly professional at first, or did it immediately kind of go
I
into?
asked her out, and she said no. So-
Well, we were hanging out. We were hanging out
but yeah,
together.
we started hanging out anyway. We
And
still went to the movies together, and we became actually best friends.
and everyone thought we were together. I'm like, no, we're just friends.
Yeah.
Like, we're not in a relationship, but we were always together.
So yeah, we were best friends for several years before we actually developed into a relationship.
And we got together in 2013, and we moved to Geelong, another part of like an hour away from Melbourne, and because he got a job, so we moved in together like after a few months. And yeah, from there we've been together. We just had our 10-year wedding anniversary. So yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how did it go from romance to then knowing you wanted to make films?
we were making films together
Yeah,
since
we'll always like
2009.
making films. Yeah. So Sarah would be working, on the short films I'd be doing as production designer in the art department. So she'll be
Set
helping me out.
builder.
Then. Yeah,
I built
pretty
some
much.
sets for you.
A one-woman art department. Just doing everything short films. That's how they are. So yeah, we're always making films together, and eventually Sarah graduated into directing.
In 2013, when we moved to Geelong, I directed my first film, and he produced it. So
And which film was that?
that was Dusk.
Dusk. Okay. And so let's talk a bit about Cats of Malta, because like I said, I mean, I was like, oh, am I going to like this film? And it's so beautifully done, and the characters that you found are so enticing. I mean, the little boy, the 11-year-old boy who feeds cats, and he's just so adorable. And even is it a British woman who lives there as well?
Probably much.
How did you find these characters?
I call that film my love letter to Malta because I went to Malta wanting to make a film. My dream was to make a film in Malta. Now I've made like 3 there. So so it worked out well.
The film it was almost like fate.
It just kind of happened. And I knew
things just
about
fell into
Isaac.
place.
I knew Isaac was the youngest cat feeder. So I started Googling this guy who actually feeds the youngest cat feeder. And then it was 3. This is too easy. I know these people. The hardest one to get was Nanu because I didn't know who was feeding because he was a stray cat.
Yeah, like a cat with 3 legs.
With 3 legs. But then you just go to Facebook and I realize there's a really big Facebook community who actually knows these cats and knows this. All these people are on Facebook. Everything goes within communities on Facebook.
How do you have the same approach for each of your films in terms of or does each film kind of come to you in a different way? Walk us through a little bit about the process from development to funding to shooting. And
we're kind of random.
Yeah, it's a bit.
We've shot films all over Europe and all over, even in Australia. So
no film is the same.
it makes it hard to market because we're like, okay, one time we got a cat movie, the next time we got a film about infidelity, the next time
Yeah.
we've got something about relationships.
A horror
If you're
film,
interested in
yeah.
cats, you might not be interested in our next film because it's about something else.
Yeah, I don't know where the ideas come from, but like we do try to write within a budget. So like we know, all right, we don't have much money for these films, so we have to like, we're not going to write like a big sci-fi epic with like, 1,000 explosions like in the film.
It's not what we want to do anyway. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the kind of
and
films
it's
that
not
we
the
lean
stories that we
towards.
like are interested in anyway. So we like human relationships. We're just fascinated like about human behavior. So that's the
Yeah.
most
I think
regular thing we tend to do.
I think the biggest challenge we had, we tried to do a thriller sci-fi machination that we shot that just right after Cats of Malta in the same year. And the biggest problem we had was trying to get the effects of the worms. So we just used real worms instead of like we tried to like look at VFX and green screen, but the cost have to hire the studio and do all that. So we thought, no, we're just going to get worms and throw them around the apartment. So that's what we did. we just went Taylor Market. Let's just get real worms,
Yeah,
throw them all over our actor and all over the apartment. And
yeah.
Yeah, that works. When in doubt, use reality.
Yeah. But yeah, we write within our means. Like, we make small films. We use small crews. We often do improvised work. So, we don't actually write full scripts. Rather, it's like an outline of.
it helps us be efficient and also within budget.
We know where the story is going, but like it's we leave it to the actors to actually come up with the dialogue, and it like often leads to much more authentic performances. We find
Sometimes the ending changes too. Like with Machination, the actor decided, oh, I don't think this would end. I don't think this would happen like this. I think this will be how she would end her story, and we went with it. So
it's a fluid process.
Yeah.
And in turn, you asked about how we fund them. Like Cats of Malta had crowdfunding.
But it had crowdfunding at the end.
Yeah,
when we
for post.
started, we used our own cameras. So we had 2 cameras. We were testing one out at the time. That's how it happened. We were just filming cats. We went to the biggest garden that we knew that had cats, Independence Gardens. We just started filming it. And we're like, okay, we can just use both of our cameras.
Yeah, we have our own equipment, and that helps to keep costs down also. So that's a big, like, on some films, like Machination 4 fans, I've been the DP, and the gaffer, like Sarah's been doing sounds, and like we have a crew of like 3 people, so we're just juggling like so many different tasks, like just ourselves.
And we were lucky to have someone. We always have an assistant come on, so we had someone else do for the bigger locations. We had someone else come on.
Over the years, we've built up like a list of gear, like and like our own sound equipment and lights and stuff like that. So to actually go out and shoot something, like it doesn't cost us like a whole lot. Like the biggest cost come from like we always pay our cast and crew, so we always get something. If it's not much, we always want to pay them. But like our cast and crews are usually pretty small, so it still doesn't add up to like a whole lot of money.
But it worked out well for us because during the pandemic, we weren't allowed to be in groups of more than like 5 or 6 people. Like that's fine. We can still shoot 2 feature films during the pandemic because our crews are usually 4 or 5 people. It's usually just me and Ivan and an assistant. So
that's kind of gone all over the place. But that's our things are like kind of just random. So it's like every film.
So to wrap it up, keep it small. Usually the budget's small. The
explain.
ideas are big, but we try to like keep it contained within what we can actually work with. We just work with what we have.
And what kind of kit do you have? Of curiosity,
we have like 2 Blackmagic cameras, 4K
pocket cinema cameras,
and we have like various like different lenses, probably like 4 different lenses that we use depending on like the actual situation.
We do have lights, but we use a lot of natural lighting.
Yeah, just a couple of lights. Yeah, but we do natural lighting.
Except
like
for Machination, we lit that one.
Yeah, and just a sound recorder and like boom pole, a couple of lapels. So it's a basic kit, but like you can achieve quite a lot with a basic kit if you know how to use it.
We're inspired by the Mumblecore movement, which is like using everything that's natural. So we like to put our actors in natural lighting and just natural situations, so we can film like that.
When I saw Mumblecore next year names, I was super excited because I love that. In like when when the Mumblecore movement came up, I feel like there's not many people left who do that really well, and so it's nice to, it's just, I find it meditative and I don't know, it feels like when I'm watching a Mumblecore, I'm watching life, and sometimes that's the most. That's how I reflect the most, is when I'm watching those types of films on my own.
That's the films that inspire us and what we like to make. Like the early 2000s is when like kind of peaked, and I don't know, maybe now we're in the post Mumblecore. I don't know what the word for it is anymore, but yeah, they kind of but like they've made careers out of it, like Joe Swanberg, like doing stuff for Netflix.
And those are the filmmakers that inspired us
Greta
as well.
Gerwig has gone on to like Barbie, but they all came from like the Mumblecore movement.
Sean Baker as well.
Yeah, Sean Baker like just won the Oscar for Nora. So
because we did a short film in Melbourne and it got really chaotic. We had like 4 different producers. Everyone was fighting. Everyone was bickering about everything. Too many people making decisions. And we were like, we don't want to do this filmmaking anymore. We're just like too crazy, too many egos. And then we were like, what can we do to make us fall back in love with film? And then we were watching like a lot of Duplass brothers at the time. We were running a film festival called Made in Melbourne. We had a couple of Mumblecore films there. We were watching Hannah Takes the Stairs and all those kind of films from America. We're like, you know what, let's just make a feature film in 24 hours over New Year's because we hate New Year's Eve. So what can we do to celebrate?
I hate New Year's Eve too.
Yes. So we thought we don't want to spend like hundreds of dollars to get a stupid costume and go to some party that we're going to like bitch about later. So like, what can we do? So we decided to shoot a film in 24 hours, and that was Friends, Foes and Fireworks. And so we had 7 locations, 5 actors, 6. There's a guy as well. And we went all over, like all different parts of where we were living, and we shot a feature film, and we fell back in love with it because we were learning how to make films with a lot of constricted elements, but also with the spontaneity of improvisation. So we've seen other people do it. We were reading a lot, and we were watching a lot of those kind of films. So we thought, let's do it ourselves. And then we fell back in love with it. And then we moved to Europe, and we just kept working that way. We've developed our own technique.
We do have rehearsals, but rehearsals like we never actually rehearse a scene because like there's no dialogue, so there's nothing to actually rehearse.
Yeah. We send our actors on dates together.
Yeah, we like it's kind of like bonding exercises. Like we're building like the character, so we'll run like all right, like so say we after the act, like our latest film, it's about 3 friends, and then like okay, we'll act a scenario where they met the first time at a party, and like how they like act as a friendship group, like one friend is like attracted to another and the other one's getting a little bit jealous, so we'll act that out, like so that we're kind of building the history.
We want the tension. We want the tension before we get so we try to work beforehand what happened before we got to the first scene, so we had to build that tension between them.
So by the time we actually get to sets, they know these characters like inside out, so when they
know how they felt,
they just respond naturally.
They know how they felt at particular moments. Like Mia would know what it's like when she's with Becca and Sam, because there's sort of that connection there and she can feel it. So when she hears that there's a betrayal, it comes up for her and she's like, okay, this is what I suspected. Like she has that already inkling that maybe something's going on, but she doesn't know.
And how long were you working with them before you actually started shooting? You mentioned them going on dates and things like that together.
And it was actually Laura's first feature film as well, her first film.
Probably like a month. We're working with them beforehand. Like we do like, because Laura was living in Austria at the time.
Vienna.
Yeah, so like we do like just rehearsals with her over Zoom, and it'll be just like kind of like asking her questions about the character, like you're talking
trying to develop it, like
about the background, and then like getting together with Jacob and talking about the relationship before we got them like both together in Berlin to do in person.
Then we took them to the canal and they had their first date. We gave them like €10 and said, walk around, and if you need to buy a coffee or some food, go for it. And they walked around. And I remember she said to me like recently at the Vienna screening that she found Jacob's character very annoying.
That's funny.
I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, I thought he was a bit like, it's a bit annoying.
I guess she played with that then.
Use that.
She must have found something later on that she found attractive about him as Mia.
Yeah. Hopefully. And at what point walk us through, like, you developed the film. Was it one of your ideas or both of you? Like, how do you come up with, decide what's your next project?
Oh, because you shot that short film.
Yeah, it stemmed from a short film called Goose and Gander,
which he shot by himself in Zagreb.
Which we done in Zagreb and living in Croatia like several years beforehand. And it was the same concept where the boyfriend ends up cheating, and at the end of the short film, his girlfriend says, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. And that's how the short film ends.
So we don't know if she does or if she doesn't.
Yeah, I just started thinking like,
don't give away spoilers.
What if we develop that further? What actually happens next? So that was how After the Act came about, and just spent some time kind of writing the outline, several drafts before we had something we were happy with, and then the casting process started.
And has there ever been a topic or a film that you both that one of you has brought up and the other one didn't want to do?
Was there?
Maybe for fans, because we do a lot of things about open relationships and sexuality, and I was like, I really don't know if I want to do another film about cam girls and like sex workers and stuff, because we touched a lot of that about open relationships. But yeah, I really do like for fans now, and I'm glad I was a
Yeah.
part of it.
Mm.
But yeah, not really. I just don't want to. I don't know. I have like a more kind of feminist kind of approach. I like to make films about, female stories and things like that. So I'm always pushing for that. But yeah, we kind of like support each other when we can. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of a specific example where we refuse to work on each other's like kind of projects. So and
Yeah.
we'll usually, like end up co-writing with Sarah, write a
Compromising. Yeah.
first draft, like then I'll add my points, or I'll write like something that I'll take it to Sarah, like she'll change things around. So yeah, we always like find a way to like compromise at the
To
end.
find the middle ground.
Yeah.
And so is this your full-time gig, Filmmakers?
It is like we still do like work on the side, like I'll like freelance as a video editor. In Berlin here, I've actually done a bit of work just on set, recording sound on other people's projects. So
Yesterday was an extra. For the last 2 days, I've been an extra on
Yeah.
other people's projects. So through my agency, I have 3 agencies here, so they give me work. I've got work on Tuesday. It's minimum wage, but it's giving us something,
yeah, so
Yeah.
we find other ways to supplement income from film, but like the main thing we do is actually filmmaking.
But whatever money the company makes, it just goes back to make more films.
Yeah. And when you are doing the films, at what point do you start to think about marketing and PR and distribution?
This is Sarah's department.
This is what it drives me crazy. Like every time I said to Ivan today, I need an intern. I've got so many emails to send. I'm trying to like do emails for the festival. We have run 2 festivals here now too. The marketing is something that we think of earlier. We've got EPK videos from our films that we try and cut.
We always record a lot of behind the scenes.
A lot of behind the scenes for marketing. When we have our screenings, like if we have it in the cinema, we always try and shoot the Q&A and stuff, so we can have like something to use for marketing. It's very tricky. We have a newsletter as well for Nexus, but we find that's more focused on filmmaking. We've just started Substack. There's all different kind of things we're experimenting with. We have our YouTube channel where we teach improvised filmmaking and micro budget filmmaking. He's got a book, so we try different ways. Like we were just talking, we've got a lot, like for our recent film For Fans, which we're also working on now while we're doing After the Act, mate. That's why my head's going to explode.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the release for After the Act while I'm also trying to get people to come to the cinema screening next week for the other film in Spain.
Oh, wow.
I tell him, why do you put everything together? Like everything just comes at once. And then work, do I have to go to work
like to
now?
torture her.
Because this is why I had like 9 hours sleep the last like 2 days.
Oh my gosh. And then you have this interview.
I'm on set doing like yesterday I was creating stuff on Canva on my phone, and it's so frustrating. So I'm in between while I'm not being used as an extra. I'm sitting there going Canva and I'm like moving images around and creating stuff like PR, marketing stuff, and I'm posting on Instagram. So I just post in between.
It's difficult. I think like
It's difficult.
like Sarah mentioned before, part of our problem is we don't make the same film over and over, not even the same genre. So yeah, we have like a documentary about cats, but then we have like romantic like dramas.
So trying to keep
then we
up
have a
with
horror film. So yeah, one for like our audience for Cats in Malta doesn't translate into like our next project, like which will be like After the Act or something like that. So we're always kind of trying to rebuild our like lists and contacts and
So we have one set
You don't make
website.
it easier for yourself.
No, we don't. And I'd love to be. So I don't know if this, because I've heard other people say, oh, I'm waiting for this filmmaker's next film. Like we have filmmakers that we know. People are like, I can't wait for their next film. And I'm just like, I wish I could have people say, I don't know if people say that about my film. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you make? They're probably wondering, what the hell are they going to make next? Is more like what they say about ours. If we were just horror genre, that would be great. Like, some people are just waiting for our next horror film, because it's like, we don't really hit, and we're not really like doing mainstream kind of stuff either. So it's quite tricky for us. And I found marketing After the Act was a little bit tricky, because we knew that we wanted to make this kind of film, but we knew it wasn't going to be commercially viable for us. We were like, we just made the film that we wanted to make. and that was tricky for us because we were like,
Yeah. How do we sell it now?
how do we sell this now? We had the same problem with Friends, Foes, and Fireworks because it was really a friendship drama, but we learned a lot from that because we focused too much on marketing as, oh, it's a film made in 24 hours and we made it
Yeah,
improvised.
other filmmakers maybe care about that, but the audience
that's
doesn't
what we
care about that.
realized. And all our interviews were like, oh, let's talk about the improvised process. Let's talk about making a film with no script. And it's like, then I realized after I said, but that film has got so much potential. It's got LGBTQ issues. It's got women's issues about, unwanted pregnancies and things like that. But we got overshadowed by the filmmaking process of it. I'm like, I got really sad about that. And I learned a lot since 2017. I'm like, we need to focus more on the issues and find what
The theme.
the relatable themes, not like. So whenever we do like Q&As in cinemas, I'm like, let's not talk too much about the improvised because I don't want that to be the focus because other filmmakers might care, but then the general audience don't really want to know that
They just
stuff.
want a good film. They
They
just want a good story.
film. They want to see something. They want to see themselves reflected back, and it's not, the filmmaking process.
Right. Or they want to hear about maybe like your intentions on making the film or how what you hope to tell with it. I'm sure because people who watch film. I mean, I think most people nowadays are very film savvy, or maybe they're less now than they used to be.
Who knows?
I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's hard to tell right now.
It is hard to tell because people aren't going to cinemas and the face-to-face isn't necessarily happening, so everything's online. I love the fact that you guys have been doing this since 2007 because so much of this podcast, like I've said, is about how can people build a sustainable career and how can they, while not necessarily, I'm not opposed to people selling out if it's for a specific reason. And when I say selling out, it's more the 90s version of selling out, where it's like, in the 90s, we thought anything that you did that wasn't indie, if you did a commercial or something, you were selling out. Yeah. I'm talking more like in that route, but the fact that you have like stayed true to yourselves, and that said, like, because you've talked a couple times about not having the communities for each, translating to the next film. Is that something that you want to put into like a strategy, or are you like, no, fuck it, like we're always just gonna do what we want to do? And
I think we're always going to do what we want to do,
Yeah.
but we have to sort of think about how we're going to sustain it going forward.
We're happy doing
What
just
we're
this.
doing.
We make the stories and make the films that we actually want to make. The only thing we want is like more money to do it. Like
And more support, I think.
yeah,
from-
that's it. Like if we had like $1 million for our next one, what would we'd still be making like these like slow moving improvised relationship dramas.
Yeah, that was the
we'll just
thing.
pay like a cast and crew more and have a bigger crew to make stuff easier for us.
And probably have bigger locations. Funding for my next one, maybe a co-production.
But you asked like how people can sustain like doing this for as long as we have, and for me, I think it comes down to consistency. Like
Building a body of work is what we always say.
Yeah, exactly. Like Sarah said, like it's a body of work. Like we haven't relied on just one film. We've made like I don't know. I actually counted like with my friend because he's staying with us here in Berlin the other day. We've made 39 films. That's like shorts also.
Shorts.
And
I was going to ask you how many. Wow, 39.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't realize I was actually so high until I
We tried to
sat down
count
and
the features. And
but like feature films, like in counting documentaries, like probably it's probably like 10 or something.
That's incredible.
And just like a couple of them
surprised
do
too.
really well for us. Like one is Cats of Malta, the other's bringing like some money, but every single month we have some income coming in from Amazon, from Hoopla, from Tubi, from the various platforms. A lot of it through Film Hub, and like some others through like other distributors. And that's how that's how we fund like our projects. Like we save some money over like several months, and here's going to be like our next project, and our budgets are probably like 15,000 to like 30,000 is our average. So it's like not the really ultra low budget films. Like I know that sounds like a lot, but in filmmaking that's like hardly.
But it's post-production that costs us a lot. Like that's why it takes us a long time.
But even I'm an editor, so like I edit all our own projects. So like I'm saving money that way.
I made the costumes for our last film.
On the short films, I'll do like all the sound design also. Like I won't go to anyone for sound design. I'll just do it myself. Like I'm not going to put a lot of money into shorts.
But the features
But
people to do
features will
that.
work with other people.
I was going to
Uh,
say it was about building a body of work, isn't it? Like, was it Joe Swanberg? Everyone thought that his first film was
yeah,
Drinking Buddies, but oh no, that was it that the correct one? Yeah, everyone thought it was Drinking.
yeah,
But
drinking buddies.
oh
Yeah,
no, I'm
but
talking about Sean Barker. Everyone thought Tangerine was his first film, but he made all this
Right.
work for that. People were like, oh, look at his new film, Tangerine. Is his like, no, this guy's made like so many films. He's just been working to get to
yeah,
that
it's
point.
consistency.
It's
Yeah,
consistency, building a body of work, which is going to like get you where you are, because you always learn as well as you're going along.
yeah. You can't rely on just one project. You have to like build that body of work.
So what would you say if you had to like, this is a very American question, but mission statement for your body of work, or, your goals for your creations? Like, what would you say that is?
Um, I think just what I said before. Like, yeah, I'd be doing exactly the same projects. Like, I just want to do them at like a little bit of a higher budget. Like, it'd be nice to spend like 100,000 on a project, and like let's build up to like 250, and like maybe one day we'll get to 1 million. Like,
I wouldn't know what to do if
so
someone gave me a big blockbuster
yeah, I
film to
think like the
direct
advantage
every
you get
year.
like with government like backing like for your films is they'll go to like the bigger festivals. You'll have like your official kind of like people supporting
A
your
marketing
work and
budget.
putting you forward. Yeah, you have a budget for marketing for like your distribution. So instead of like you're wearing all the hats like we do now, you'll have
But
like a team to support you. So
speaking
that's
of that too, and we said like looking ahead, like the marketing budget is something you have to think about before you make the film. Like make sure you have enough money to have to do all this stuff, because if you finish a film that you're like, oh, I have no money left to market it, then how are you going to get the film out there? So it's something that we think about too now.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. They say you want at least 20% of your overall budget to go to marketing, and yeah,
Something
I know.
you learn the way.
Yeah. Whereas we just like we make it and then like now we have to save some money and we can start marketing it.
And so, at what point did you stop asking permission and just start like paving your own way? Was it always the case, or was there a specific moment you remember?
It was always
Yeah.
2017 when we got sick of like making films with that
We
short
were
film.
always like making films our own way, making like outside like any official system, like it's completely independent. We've always been operating like completely independently.
Because we don't want to wait for other people to like give us permission to make the film. If we wait, like it could take us years to get funding. Like that's what I'm keeping that in mind for my next screenplay. I know it's going to take me years to like figure out how to get the money.
I think it also comes down to impatience. I'm very impatient, so I have an idea for a story and I just want to get out there and shoot it. I don't want to like spend like 2 years trying to raise the money for it. I just like I want to get on set. I just can't. I can't go too long without being on set. Like there's something inside me I need to actually create.
Do you plan on staying in Berlin? If somebody gave you, like, would you ever go to Hollywood? What does the future hold?
No,
Yeah.
we wish we could afford to live in New York. We like New York.
Yeah, well, it depends on you.
And my sister's in LA, but America's never really appealed to us because we've always
No.
got that kind of laid back kind of.
No,
I
I
don't
love
know.
to visit America, but I've never been tempted to actually live in America. So we're happy, like here in Berlin for now, but more than likely we'll end up back in Australia.
Just because our family's getting older.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
So I don't know what it's gonna look like for our career. We'll probably both have to work full time. Like, yeah.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Like when we move back. But like, at the moment, like we love Berlin. That like there's so much happening here. Like every single night there's like a film event, and there's like so many productions going on. Like a lot of it's like independent, no money,
It's
but
pretty simple. It's similar to like what's
Yeah.
happening in Australia. One just making the film for the passion of it.
yeah, but like a much bigger community. I think
Yeah.
making films here. So it's really active and alive here. So we're really happy in Berlin. But
End of the year we might be going
her mum
back.
like has cancer. Like my mum is getting old. My brother has MS, so most likely we'll end up.
And we've been
back in
away
Australia
home
soon.
for like 10 years now. It's been a decade since we've been in Europe. And unfortunately, yeah. I would have liked to do more. I feel like a little bit of regret. Like we don't have like, even though we're sustaining ourselves, the business, we don't have like a lot of money to go to the festivals and to go to the markets. Like I see other people like going to markets like every month. They're going to like, oh, Venice is on, and now this one's on, and they're going to like Cannes and then Venice, and I'm just like, I feel a bit guilty. Like I feel like I should be doing that too. Like, why haven't I done that? Because it's hard to get that balance as well. Like, where do we?
Whereas I don't care because I'm like, yeah, I'm introverted, so I'm happy just sitting in front of my computer.
And then when I do
Yeah, she
go,
can talk to everyone.
but then when I do go, like I had this weird experience when I went to the Berlin festival. I was like, not this year, that was the year before. So I moved, I went from Croatia, but like, oh, we can afford to send one person to Berlin to like promote the films. And I went there, I'm like, I've got this slow drama. It's about this relationship. I feel like no one's buying slow films right now. Like, I don't think there's anyone here that's interested in that. I'm like, I'm so glad I spent thousands of euros to get here.
Oh my God.
Films
Yeah.
are really hard to sell. And I learned, like, don't say slow films. I was like, I've got a intimate relationship drama. I had to like change my wording. But yeah, it kind of like kills your like kind of like confidence. It's like, but these are the films that I want to make. Like, this is my film. Like, accept it. Like, it's really hard.
Well, and also I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I mean, I went to this year I actually went to the most marketplaces. I went to Lille for the TV series Mania. I went to Cannes. I went to like a bunch of places, and everybody's talking about vertical films,
Oh no, yeah.
and I'm like, just kill me now. Um, and I really think, look, the industry is talking about lots of different things, and but at the end of the day, I think people are going to have a really big pushback against Hollywood, against the remakes, against AI, and they'll like be like, dying for your type of film. So actually, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I think it's already happening.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna say
your
that.
DVDs making a bit of a comeback. More people like are collecting. They're sick of the streaming
They're
services.
sick of always having the internet on the phone. They're
Yeah.
going to dumb phones now. Like, they want just
Yeah,
phones that don't have the internet on all the
People
time.
like mock like who was it, like Saran's son or something, when he says he watches Lawrence of Arabia on his phone. So like I think there's already a pushback, like and there's like, I think there's a movement more towards like, cinemas are still struggling, but like there's community and micro cinemas. Like, people are finding ways like to do screenings, and Substack
There's a big Substack community now.
community.
Yeah.
What's it
I
called?
think
Film
I
Stack.
think I say it wrong, like non-DE, like there's that.
Yeah, there's a pushback, like
But they're
for
not
more
even-
authentic like stories. And
They're even relying on themselves to distribute their film like straight off their
Mm.
websites, like not using anybody, like not even using Film Hub, like what we're doing. But distribution is always the tricky part for us. Like, how do we distribute the film? If we tried once selling it on Gumtree or something, or Gumroad
Gumroad.
off our website. And the funny thing was, we were promoting it on Gumroad, like our film Friends, Foes, and Fireworks. And one of our actors lived in America at the time, and I was pushing the Gumroad. I'm like, yeah, can you please push it on Gumroad for us? She's like, my friends will not buy it on Gumroad. They don't know what Gumroad is. I'm going to push the Amazon sales. I'm like, but we get like 2 cents every time someone streams it. But if they buy it on Gumroad directly from us,
We
we
get
can get like,
90%.
at least like €55, $5 or something for it. Please use that. She's like, no one will trust that site. That's another thing. Like, people have this mentality, like, what's trustworthy? But then they don't look at the we were talking about this with our friend today. Like, they don't look at the corporation behind it. Like, who owns Amazon and how much do the filmmakers get? Why don't you just go on my website, pay $5.99 for my film, and I'll get like more of that money? It's just
we
hard
get
to
like
get the people out
1
of that
cent on
mentality.
Amazon per hour streamed, while Bezos goes and like
Yeah.
buys the whole of Venice for his wedding. So.
Yeah, like, you have to look.
Yeah.
We have to be smarter, I think, as filmmakers. Like, why would you pay $5.99? Like, I see why, because Netflix you can watch 1,000 films in the month. Like, all these films, it's like so much content on Netflix. But then how much does a filmmaker get to put their film on there?
But
And
at the
what's
same time, like,
chance?
that's what's devalued film. Like, people have been trained to expect everything for free, and yet film costs like it costs thousands for us, but many films cost millions to make, and yet everyone wants it for free at the end. So
Yeah.
like
It's hard to get
it's
someone
very
to
hard
pay.
to sustain a career like that.
It's hard to get someone to pay $5.99 to watch your film when they know Netflix is like affordable, but they don't understand the system of how it actually gets there, and what the filmmaker actually gets, which is really frustrating.
So do you think the future is for each filmmaker kind of to own their own assets and sell it individually, or?
Well, what we're seeing right now, like, I think like you have to own your own audience, as you're saying before. Like, get them off the platforms and onto your own email list, so you
It's
can
a
sell
change.
directly to them. So yeah,
It's definitely
I
a change
think-
of mentality needs to happen, but it's
Yeah.
the way we like hold like the Hollywood system up, like the
we
hierarchy.
see like
I
with
think.
Backrooms and Obsession, just
It's happening.
currently they built their audience on YouTube, and that's translated like for massive success for them, like making their features and big returns at the box office, and that they've done it outside the studio systems also. So I think building your own audience is the key. it's easier said than done, but like I think that's
But
really important.
there's also that thing of people are dumbing down their scripts to make it more like. So when people are scrolling, they're watching. There's that whole thing like you have has to everything has to happen every 2 minutes, or people are just going to turn off, or they're just going to be playing on their phones, which is really
Can't
a
stand that.
sad thing for us as well. To yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
I've had my producers tell me that, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like, if they, I'm not gonna like repeat a storyline every like, every 2 minutes or whatever it
oh,
is.
so what's happening. So right now, Mia is going to go walking because she's upset. What happened? It's like what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a chicken and egg thing, right? Are people dumber because we're feeding them dumber content, or is it like what happened first? I don't know.
Worked at a cinema, so I know dumber content sells because I worked in a really commercial cinema in Malta, and they had Daddy's Home 2 something playing for like 6 months, and then they had Phantom Thread playing, and I was like in the cinema going, I'm just staying in the Phantom Thread room. I was like this, and everyone in the cinema, like we had no one come into that film, like 2 or 3 people were showing it, so it only lasted like a week, and they got rid of it. The same with 5 billboards that are Ebbing, Missouri or something. That one, they kept calling them the weird films are playing.
Yeah.
No one's coming to the weird
Where
films.
Daddy's Home will just be
Daddy's
sold
Home was
out.
just like 6 months, floods and floods of people. I'm just like, why? When you've got Phantom Thread, it's shot on film, it's so beautiful. Like, why are you?
Oh.
And it was heartbreaking being working in a cinema and just seeing people just like you're watching the silly films, but you're not watching the proper. Like, oh, it broke my heart. I'm like, this is really weird. It was strange.
There are so like I had this short film I did a couple years ago, and so I don't know how this random film festival in California found it, and it was called Redland Films. And it was really cool because it was actually packed full of people, and it was all only short films, and that really like touched me because I'm like, oh, like you. I mean, I are people actually going out, but there, yeah. I don't know. Let's leave on a couple of positive notes. Well, first of all, um, for an up and coming filmmaker who's just starting out in their career, what advice would you give them after all your years
I
of
think 100% back yourself and invest in your own work. I think I would say
Yeah,
like
don't wait for permission. Just go. Even if you create something that's bad, you and like we done this. Like our first films are unwatchable, but like you learn from that experience, and like you'll make another one. You'll get better.
like when
Then
Mark Duplass said the
yeah,
cavalry's not coming, if you're just going to sit and wait for people to come
yeah,
and throw money at you, you're probably never going to make a film.
yeah. You have to like just go out and like take action. You have to do it yourself. And the other thing, like I said before, like it's consistency. You have to keep going. You don't don't think you're going to make one film and that's like going to be a breakout. Like that's extremely rare.
Yeah.
Rather, it's like that building that body of work and like over years, that's like it adds up, and that's when like things start like you're making a difference, and maybe then you can like start making a living doing this.
And I don't think you should measure your success compared to other people's success because everyone starts from a different point as well. Like, and like a lot of people now are making films because someone saw them on YouTube and threw money at them. Like I saw Sorry Baby, and I'm not saying that devalues her film at all. Eva Victor, like I loved that film, but it was really interesting to see where she came from and how she actually got there. But even with the background, like he's a young guy that made that movie, and a lot of people are coming from a different place, so you shouldn't judge yourself like from where you're starting. And you can make films later. It's not something you can't do when you're 50. If you want to start making a film at 50 after your career, you can do that. So I think that's what's wonderful about making art is that you can start like we know filmmakers, actors who have stopped film. They made family first. They said I stopped acting for a while because I raised my kids, and then I came back.
Yeah,
So the good thing about being a filmmaker and being an artist, and if you can always make a film. It doesn't matter where you come from. You can always find a way.
I love that. I think so many people stop. I've heard so many people say I'm too old, or it's too late, and I completely agree. It's never too late, and the only way you fail is if you stop.
My 30s,
you,
right,
you
when I
live
started.
once, so you might as well create the life that you want to live. Like pursue your dreams. You're not going to get another chance.
And the last question I ask everybody is, what are you still trying to figure out as artists?
Besides the community thing,
Yeah,
how to
I don't know.
sustain. Yeah, it's just learning to keep going. And
Yeah, I don't know what we're trying like social media. I hate it, so I guess I'm trying to just figure out social
I
media.
still think we're still trying to build our community and find a
Yeah.
way to keep going because we're getting older. Like I'm 45 now, and I do worry about the future. Like I don't know if I can keep going. I probably would have to get a full-time job and do it on the side. But yeah,
Yeah. I can't think of anything
Cool.
else.
I think of it.
And how can people find you on socials, websites, also the film?
On everything on YouTube, everything goes through our website, so nexusproductiongroup.com. So you can subscribe to our newsletter from there. You can find us on Substack. I'm trying to slowly get into that a bit more when I find time. Social media is the same, Nexus Production Group.
Yeah.
So everything just goes through that handle.
Yeah, and then after the act, it's on our website.
Yeah,
so
After
like
the Act is
everything
on there.
goes through the Nexus website. So all our films are on there.
Aftertheactfilm.com. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll put that also in the description. Any last words before we go?
Just make films. Enjoy yourself. And don't give up. So
Don't listen to the gatekeepers, because you
yeah.
will find a way to make your film.
Thank you guys so much. It's been so wonderful to talk to you, and I've so enjoyed this conversation.
Thank
you so much. It was great.
Thanks.